Hillary Clinton, former First Lady, former Secretary of State, is running for president. And it seems like the only thing we know about are the emails, except we don't know much other than something happened and we don't know what. To explain it all to us, Karen Travers, ABC News correspondent in Washington, D.C. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, McGraw and Kelly. How are you?
So I'm not following this because it's just sort of white noise, and I don't know necessarily who to trust. What is actually the crime or the problem that Hillary Clinton is accused of doing?
Well, no crime just yet. This isn't a criminal inquiry, as we've heard from Clinton's lawyers, and the Justice Department isn't saying much. But what we do know is that the FBI has Hillary Clinton's private email server, and it's looking into how classified information was handled, how it was stored, how it was managed, and they're trying to determine whether potential foreign rivals, the Chinese or the Russians, could have been able to access that private email server. And this is what we also know, that last week, top lawmakers who have been briefed on this say, as part of a sweep of emails, there were two that were flagged as containing top secret information, among the most sensitive intelligence there is. The Clinton team says these were emails that were flagged as top secret after the fact, that when Hillary Clinton says she did not send or receive classified information, that is the truth, but now you have these two emails classified as top secret, it's giving Republicans fodder to say there is something more there and we want to keep digging.
Did she destroy and or delete any emails?
Yeah, there were emails that were deleted, thousands of them. You remember back in the spring, they turned over to the State Department the emails that were relevant to the Benghazi investigation, and the other emails were wiped clean off of the server. But here's an interesting development over the weekend. Platte River Networks is the Colorado company that set up the private email server. They tell ABC News that it's likely there's a full backup of the server that was made, that's how they do their business. So that means that the thousands of emails that she deleted may still exist. That company says it's cooperating with the FBI. That means there's a potential other shoe to drop, or potentially nothing there, because Team Clinton insists that the emails that were deleted were not relevant. They were about yoga workouts. They were about Chelsea Clinton's wedding planning, things that we all have on our email accounts. But this certainly could give more fire for Republicans to say, all those emails that you said weren't relevant, let us have a look at it and determine if we think they're relevant.
And the law or the rule was, because it's top secret or because it's classified, it had to be on a government server. Then that's the crux, right? That's the crux of the issue?
Yes, and there was administration policies of not, of having private email versus having government email. And, I think a lot of this is American people aren't getting down into the weeds of the legalness of certain national security laws and how email is handled. It's a perception issue. And there was a poll over the weekend from Fox News that found that 58% of people polled say they think that she lied when Clinton said that she didn't send classified information. 58%. That just cements for people that they think that Hillary Clinton has something to hide. And I think, like so many things in politics, if you support her, you think Republicans are out to get her. If you don't support her, you think that this is the Clinton campaign trying to hide something. Unlikely that any statement from the FBI or any conclusive finality of the investigation is going to change people's minds once they have that in their head.
It really is convoluted, but ultimately, in the end, let's say, has she said, sorry, I didn't mean to do this? Because, we all have work emails and personal emails sort of intertwined in our phones and our work email and everything else. And so, has she ever said, sorry, I didn't mean to do it? We're still trying to figure out all this email thing?
Not in so much those words, but she's defended it as she didn't want to carry multiple devices. She didn't want to have one phone, one device that was all of the private emails and the other one that was the government emails, so that they were trying to condense the amount of stuff that she was holding, essentially, and moving things off onto their own server. But, I think even people within the White House say was surprising, because that's not how things are supposed to be done. Everything has to be archived, and the perception of that you do this in order to hide something. Like you say, we all have those emails that are intermingling on work or private accounts, but we're not the Secretary of State who's running for president and knows that these things could be seen in a completely different context.
On a side note, hasn't China or Russia or other entities hacked into the U.S. system and have looked at other emails?
Well, we've certainly, you have the blame potentially being pointed at the Chinese for some of the recent government hacks, that OPM hack with the federal government employees' data. Not fully officially blamed for that, but certainly a lot of lawmakers say that China was responsible for it. And that's where the concerns come in, that, if you have government servers that are able to get hacked and they're supposed to have the highest security possible, who's to say that this Colorado company could set up something that couldn't be hacked by the most simple hacker out there?
Right. Well,
I don't know technicality of computers.
I'm with you too. But it seems like hers weren't hacked, and the government's were hacked, and yet she's being criticized for not using the government servers, even though they were hacked.
Yeah,
so
they could say, "See, well, maybe we picked the right way to do this."
Karen Travers, ABC News correspondent. Thanks for making sense of it for us, Karen.
Trying to. Thank you.
You got it. 7:20.